Hey guys, come on downstairs. We're playing a little Minnesota Twins franchise. It is episode number 232. We're in season number 5, playing games 19 through 22, and we're at the Trop to take on the Rays of Tampa Bay. It's game number 19 here of season number 5. Jose De Leon will take the hill for the Twins. He's 2-0 with a 1.45 ERA, and he is slowly turning into our best pitcher. And he may turn it out to be a better pitcher here in this franchise than Jose Barrios. So far, he has the inside track. We are facing former Twin Alex Meyer from I think he might have been on our squad early last season, if I remember right, before we traded him away. All right, Nolan Arenado to get things underway in the top of the first pitch of the ball game. And Arenado smokes it to left. And that one is gone on the first pitch of the baseball game from this former Minnesota Twin pitcher. Arenado with his 5th home run of the season. And the Twins jump out to an early lead. Later on in the inning, with 2 outs, runners on second and third, Francisco Cervelli at the plate. He's going to go the opposite way with this one. It's heading towards the corner, and he's going to wrap it around the pole. A 3-run home run for Francisco Cervelli. Actually, he didn't wrap it around the pole. He barely squeaked it over the yellow line. But it counts the same as a 460-foot bomb. So 4-0, Minnesota with the lead. We go to the bottom of the first inning. This is newly acquired Tampa Bay Rays Xander Bogaerts. And Xander Bogaerts is going to drive this one down the left field line off the foul pole. It's a fair ball. 3-run home run for Xander Bogaerts. And just like that, the Rays are right back in the ball game. It is 4-3 Minnesota off of Jose De Leon, who's having a fantastic season. But Xander Bogaerts puts a little hamper on De Leon's ERA. 4th inning action now. We skip ahead. This is Steven Souza Jr. facing Jose De Leon with nobody out and nobody on. And he's going to ground it to the left side. Diving play made by Nolan Arenado, and he's flashing the leather. Nolan Arenado. Beautiful play at third. We go to the 5th. Here is Jason Kipnis. We just got done playing the Cleveland Indians without Jason Kipnis for the first time, and now we play his new team, the Tampa Bay Rays, and he's doing damage. Jason Kipnis with a solo home run. It's going to tie the game up at 4. And that just does not look right to me, Jason Kipnis in a Tampa Bay Rays uniform. But that's the fun of this franchise at this point here in season number 5. Players are all over the place. And some of them, like Michael Brantley, never left the teams that they were on in 2016. All right, Nolan Arenado, former Colorado Rocky, already 1 home run on the day. He's going to drive this one into the gap with nobody on and 1 out. This one's going to roll all the way to the wall. Arenado is going to stop at second with a double. And we now have a runner in scoring position for Delino DeShields Jr. He's batting .278 on the season with 1 out. First pitch. And Delino DeShields drives this one deep to right. That's going to bounce on the warning track. 1 hop the wall. Arenado around third and score. And we take the lead 5-4 in the top of the 7th. Delino DeShields Jr., he struggled coming over from the Rangers last season. But we were patient with him, and it's starting to pay off. He's starting to look really good for us here in the early going of season number 5. Kevin Segrist on to try to get the save. He has 5 saves in 6 save opportunities, facing the catcher Jorge Dumas with 2 outs. Dumas grounds it towards third. Easy play for Nolan Arenado. Dumas does not move well for a big catcher. And we get the win in game number 1 of this series, 5-4. We lead the season series 1-0. That obviously was the first game. Xander Bogaerts went 2 for 4 with a home run, a double, and 3 RBIs for the Rays. Jason Kipnis 1 for 3 with a home run and an RBI and 2 runs. I expected the Rays to be a contender in the American League East, and they may still be, but they're off to a little bit of a slow start. Nolan Arenado 2 for 5 with a home run and a double for the Twins. All right, game number 2 of this series. It is a 4-game series. And Chad Bettis will be our starter in game number 2. He's got a 5.14 ERA, 1.43 whip. He's 0-1 on the season. He was like 1-15 or something last season. I can't remember his exact numbers, but they were that bad. Drew Smyly's 1-1, a 4.96 ERA. He will start for Tampa Bay. We get this one underway in the first inning. Runner on first for Miguel Sano. And Miguel Sano loves hitting at the Trop. He hits bombs there. This one is back of the wall, and a jumping catch cannot be made in center by Kevin Kiermaier. And it's a 3-run home run for Sano. That's number 7 on the year for Miguel Sano. I remember watching a game once where Miguel Sano hit one off of the speakers or the catwalks or something up there at Tropicana Field. And, like, it was one of the longest it would have been. It didn't count as a home run because it hit the speakers. But it would have been one of the longest home runs I have ever seen in my life. He hit that so far. It's unfortunate that those speakers were in the way. Anyway, back to game action here. We've jumped out to a 3-1 lead. Byron Buxton. And Byron Buxton's going to try to wave this one fair, and he can't. Oh, it goes foul. All right, very next pitch from Drew Smyly, the lefty. Buxton, same result. This time he's going to be able to keep it inside the foul pole. A solo home run for Mr. Buxton. And Buck trots around the bases for the first time this season. Home run number 1. Man, when are we going to see the potential of Byron Buxton come to fruition? Will it be this season? Seriously, the stars could align this year for us. We have Nolan Arenado. Sano is hitting his prime. Jose De Leon is pitching like an ace. Jose Barrios could come into his own. We have Sonny Gray. If Byron Buxton can even fulfill like part of his potential, we could be a good team this year. Surprisingly, we could go from worst to first. We'll see. All right, Alex Colomé in to replace Drew Smyly on the hill, facing Eddie Rosario. We're in the 5th inning. It's 4-1 Twins. Runners on first and second. And Rosario lifts this one deep to right. That one's back of the track, and it is gone. Eddie Rosario with a 3-run home run, his 3rd of the season. And we are jumping all over the Rays here in game number 2. Twins lead at 7-1. Francisco Cervelli now with runners on the corners and 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Cervelli with a line drive to right field. That one's tailing away from the right fielder. Mark Canha, I believe, is out there in right for the Rays. Middle of the 5th, it's 8-1. Twins with the lead. We go to the 6th inning now. This is Miguel Sano with a runner on first and 2 outs. Miguel Sano rips this one to left on a line, and it's going to go. A home run for Sano. It's number 8. And that one was an absolute frozen rope of a line drive. Twins go on to win 12-2 here in game number 2. We've got a 2-0 series lead on the Rays, who are struggling out of the gate. Let's look at the standings up there at the top. The White Sox are 11-7. The Tigers are 11-8. We're 11-9 now. The Royals are 9-11, and the Indians are 6-13. We're not going to look at the overall Major League standings at the end of this episode because A, we're very early in the season, and B, it's a 4-game series, and I want to get all of these games in a timely manner. All right, game 3 of this 4-game series. Sonny Gray, our ace, is on the hill, and he's facing the ace of the Tampa Bay Rays, Chris Archer. Both teams are wearing some throwbacks from the early 2000s, late 90s. And let's get things underway here in the first inning. Miguel Sano at the plate again. His average is up to 284 with 8 home runs. And make it 9. He is absolutely tattooing the baseball right now. And that one is well out of here. Solo home run for Sano in the first inning. Touch 'em all, big fella. It's 1-0 Minnesota. We go to the bottom of the first. This is Xander Bogaerts again. He's batting .284 with 4 home runs on the year. Runners on first and second, and Bogaerts is going to deliver a base hit up the middle. Buxton's throw is cut off, and we're tied at 1. Xander Bogaerts. He looks good in a Rays uniform, I'm not going to lie. Brad Miller now comes in to score on that one. And this one is driven out. And that is Brad Miller. Are you kidding me? Brad Miller, of all people, hit a grand slam Brad Miller just hit a grand slam off of us, and we're down 5-1 after 1 inning. Here at the Trop, we go to the 5th now. Mario Calero, 1 for 2 on the day with 2 outs, runners on first and second, a 1-2 count. Here's the delivery from Archer, and he lines it to center where Kevin Kiermaier is there to make the catch. Middle of the 5th, it's still 5-1 Rays, trying to get their first win of this series. Here's Ramon Torres. I love these uniforms that the Rays are wearing here. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like their new ones too, but these black ones were sweet. All right, here's the throw. Rays tack another one on the scoreboard. It's 6-1, Tampa Bay with the lead at the end of the 5th. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays. They should never have changed. I don't know, I like their new one too, but the Devil Rays, that was a good name. That was a good name. All right, Eddie Rosario. 0-2 count. It's 6-1 Tampa. Chris Archer pitching well, but Rosario drives this one deep to left, an opposite field home run. And those of you who haven't followed the career of Eddie Rosario, he hit an opposite field home run in his first major league at bat. And I believe it was off a left-handed pitcher. Rosario, he's a pretty good hitter off of a lefty, particularly with power to the opposite field. All right, Tony Finch. Look at those chops on that guy. Tony Finch in to replace Chris Archer now in the top of the 8th inning at 6-2. Miguel Sano, does he have another home run in him? He might. This one's driven high and deep to left center field. Kiermaier's at the wall, and it's gone. I might have to adjust my sliders, guys. This change over to MLB The Show 20. All of a sudden, the power has surged for our Twins team. I'm going to watch it closely over the next little bit, but I may have to I usually have to make some slider adjustments when I transition between one year to the next of versions of MLB The Show. All right, we fall in game number 3, 6-3. Now the final game of this 4-game series. We get a look at Jose Barrios. 4.82 ERA, 1.18 whip is very good. 17 strikeouts to 2 walks. And a 4.82 ERA, I think I said that. Blake Snell is on the hill for the Rays. He's a lefty. And traditionally, in the last few seasons, we have struggled a little bit against lefties. Let's see if we can do a little bit better here. Jorge Dumas, the catcher for the Rays. On a 2-2 count with 2 outs, swings and misses and strands 2 runners in scoring position. Barrios with the strikeout. It is still 0-0 at the end of the 2nd. And we're going to jump ahead now here to inning number 5. This is Mark Canha. Came over from the A's, I think, 2 seasons ago in our franchise. And he fits in well with the Rays, I believe. He's got the bases loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, and Canha's going to get this one past Arenado down the left field line. That's going to plate at least 2. And it gives the Rays a 2-0 lead. They're looking to even up this series at 2 games apiece. And we're trying to win the series 3-1. All right, here's Matt Carpenter, another acquisition this offseason by the Rays. And this is why I think the Rays are contenders in the AL East. They picked up Matt Carpenter, picked up Xander Bogaerts, picked up Jason Kipnis. They have Chris Archer still. They got Mark Canha a few years ago. They still have Kiermaier in center. They're a good club. 3-run home run for Matt Carpenter, and the Rays go on to win 5-1 in the finale of this episode in this 4-game series in Tampa. So we'll get the Rays 3 more times back at Target Field to finish off the season series with them at some point in the season. I don't know when it is. Blake Snell goes 7 innings. We struggle once again against a lefty, and we finish this episode at 11-11 and sit in 3rd place in the American League Central. All right, it's Minnesota Twins franchise episode 232, MLB The Show 20 on Mama's Basement Sports Gaming.